2 hours. I confidently told my intern mentor that it would take me only 2 hours to finish the given task, but instead it took me 2 days. See, when I was a software engineer at Uber, I saw many junior engineers make the same invisible, subtle mistakes every single day. I know because I have made most of them myself. If you're early in your engineering career, watching the next few minutes will save you years of pain. Hi, I'm Sanjit Arora, software engineer at Glean, and today I will share the real career mistakes junior engineers make so you can avoid them all completely. Everything I will share is based on true stories. Some of them are mine, some cringeworthy memories I wish I could forget, and some of them are from the colleagues around me. Don't worry, I won't say out any names because no careers were harmed during this video. So ready? Let's get started. Alright, quick preview of what's coming. I will walk you through 10 subtle mistakes junior engineers make without realizing. Mistake number 2 and mistake number 5 are from my personal experience. Feel free to laugh at me, I won't judge. Mistake number 8 is pure gold. A tiny effort with huge returns, and I guarantee it will set you apart. So let's dive in. First, letting ChatGPT do all the thinking. So when I was at Uber, we were very open to trying out new innovations, including AI. But whenever I mentor someone junior, the first thing I say to them is not to use ChatGPT, Gemini, or any AI at all. Is it because I'm an AI hating dinosaur? Not really. In fact, I use AI quite extensively daily. But here's the thing, AI is like Maggi noodles. Great for quick fixes, but terrible as your only diet. Research explicitly says early career professionals who use AI tools to write code without developing a deep technical foundation are at a high risk of stagnating. Use AI for the things that are too obvious or low level for you. If you rely on AI to do all the thinking, you risk not developing your own problem solving skills, and you will keep on introducing very bad code because you won't understand what AI gave you. Use AI to speed up the task you have already mastered, not use it to do the task that you don't even understand. Second, giving wild timelines. My true story. During my internship at Uber, I confidently said to my mentor that I will finish this task in 2 hours. The reality, it took me 2 days. See, as a junior engineer, we don't know what we don't know. I've seen many junior engineers, including myself, wildly underestimating the complexity of a task. Maybe it's because of enthusiasm, pressure to please the seniors or intern mentor, or maybe it's just the lack of experience on how to break down a task and what all goes into delivering a particular task. Because in reality, you have to do proper validation, test, code reviews, maybe error handling, and after all this, deployment also. There's a famous slightly funny law called Hofstadter's law. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right or not, but anyways, the law says it always takes you longer than you expect, even when you take into account the Hofstadter law. If you want to be seen as competent and fast, then make sure you are ready to hustle hard. I have done many college projects, worked at startups of various stages, worked in Uber for 2 years, now working at Glean. Trust me, things at company move at a very different pace than your college projects or your group friends projects. Even just changing a color of a button may take you days if you're working in a big MNC. So make sure you give your timelines accordingly. So what exactly you should do? What is the fix for wrong timelines? First, very obvious thing is break the task into smaller tasks. If required, take the help of your seniors. Second, add buffer. Add even up to 50% of buffer, that is acceptable if you're just starting or if you're new to the code base. Then third, ask for a second opinion. And make sure it's not your manager because they will obviously want that as SAP. And even after all this, you need to realize it's perfectly okay to say that you will need to investigate before giving any timelines. Or even when you give the timelines, you can say that this is just a rough estimate. You have not implemented similar things before, so it might be a little off here and there. Third, speak up. Question, debate, and discuss. Ever been in a meeting and hearing something like we need to refactor the whole auth flow because auth2 is causing issues with JWT token refresh intervals, and just cluelessly nodded along? It happens to everyone. Saying I totally get it when in fact you are confused is like developer equivalent of clicking on I agree in all the terms and conditions without understanding everything. We have all done it, but nobody really understands what's going on. If you're unclear on something and proceed with the false assumptions, you might end up spending a lot of your time doing something completely different, which you realize much later. New engineers often think that they are expected to know everything from the start, and they then fear asking basic questions, maybe because of imposter syndrome or fear of judgment. But trust me, fun fact, 58% of tech workers feel like imposters. So trust me, it's very normal. Be okay appearing stupid. It's good to say you don't understand. It's good to say that you don't know. Second part of this is debate and discuss. It has happened to me several times that I have a viewpoint that is different than senior or even staff engineers. Now, as a junior engineer, it is very easy to just shut up and follow whatever your seniors are saying. But again, trust me, Speak up, debate, and discuss. From what I know, it actually makes a very good impression on your seniors. But there's an art on how to do it the right way. Let me know in the comments if you want a detailed video on this and I will elaborate. Fourth, communication and teamwork. They don't matter, right? I became a programmer because I'm bad with people. It's said as a joke, but many junior engineers unconsciously behave as if writing the code is all that matters and the soft skills are optional. This is a big mistake. Don't be a genius who rarely communicates what they are working on or dismiss other people's ideas or just isolate themselves. An isolated programmer is just like IKEA furniture built without instructions. It looks okay, but nobody trusts them. Keep the team updated on your progress. Proactively ask and confirm if your work fits the bigger picture. Make sure you review others' code and be happy to receive critique. Soft skills especially can be an invisible mistake because people may not outright tell you that you lack them. As a junior, people may just ignore if you are a bit awkward or quiet. But behind the scenes, your career is still silently suffering. I know I'm covering everything in brief, but that's because there's a lot to cover in this single video. Do let me know in the comments if you want a detailed video on any of these topics. Fifth, writing a working code. Again, my own mistake. Early on, I thought writing a working code means the job done. Huge mistake. I know it's thrilling to write the code that works, you get that feature right and you want to move on to the next. But in that rush, it's very easy to forget about the boring best practices. Writing tests, documenting your code, following the code style, version control guidelines, making sure you have a good commit message, you are creating small PRs, you are adding support for debugging later, which can be metrics or logs or whatever. There's a lot to do even if your code just works fine. If you find best practices boring, try to read about the horror stories that prove their importance. There are plenty on internet, like the NASA blunder that costed them over $300 million. These will change your perspective. You're not just writing a test, you're protecting the app from future disasters. Sixth, doing job for money. I've seen hell lot of people who think they are doing the job just for the money, which is kind of true. Yes, you're doing the job for the money, but it hinders the growth if you have this mindset, especially as a junior engineer. Let me repeat the super common phrase. Career is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So, especially when you're early in your career, try to take on difficult and challenging tasks. Try to push the boundaries of your comfort zone and try to provide as much value as possible, irrespective of the money you are getting in exchange. And the other aspect is, don't just look for money when choosing the right job for you. Unless of course you have some financial responsibilities that you need to take care of. And no, partying every week or going on expensive vacations don't count. Let me tell you a real story. I was talking to a guy who had roughly around 9 months of work in TCS earning, who had a dream to switch to big tech. Now, whether this dream is right or not, that's a topic for another day. But what he was planning to is switch to SBI and earn. Now, I suggested him to instead switch to a startup where the learning opportunities will be more, even if it means working for less money for some time. Now, you let me know in the comments which switch is the right choice. Should he switch to SBI for more money, or for now, should he switch to a startup? Seventh, trying to run before you can walk. People often say, don't reinvent the wheel. I don't fully agree. We'll tell you why. But the point of trying to run before you can walk is, I've seen many junior engineers who just skip the fundamentals and dive into fancy frameworks, tools, and high-level tasks. Sometimes due to business priorities, or sometimes maybe due to just personal preferences to avoid the hard, difficult tasks. And while it makes sense to reuse the existing code when working in a company, or maybe also use some libraries when you're working in your personal project, try to go as deep as possible. Try to understand how those internal things are working and don't just treat them as a black box. My personal motto is reinvent when learning, reuse when merging. So whenever you're learning, make sure to reinvent everything so that you understand. But when it's time that you are working in a company, you need to actually merge code to keep it clean, reuse the existing code, existing libraries and everything. You probably won't see any immediate results or issues if you skip this, but that's why I said in the beginning of the video. These are like the hidden mistakes that even if it's okay and you won't notice in short term, they will cost you a lot in the longer run. 8th, miss low effort, high impact opportunities. This is like a nugget of golden advice I can give. Do not just focus on the normal work that's assigned to you. Keep an eye out on small tasks that are not very time consuming but have exponentially more impact than the normal work assigned to you. So maybe things like improving the logging of your surveys, creating crucial dashboards, automated Slack bots, or in general improving any of the team processes. Because these don't require a lot of time, but they have the impact on the whole team. Find the opportunities that will take maybe at max 1 or 2 days, but can get you the visibility and the impact that will help you a lot, especially as a junior engineer. And if you're unable to find such things, Even doing peer reviews is good. It's okay if you're not doing it the best way, but definitely put an effort to do good peer reviews. Now, it's a detailed topic on what you can do as a junior engineer to do effective peer reviews, which I can maybe cover in some later video. Let me know if you're interested and I will prioritize that video. Ninth, thinking it's either a jackpot or Titanic. When starting a new job, junior devs often just see two extremes: Google level excitement or Titanic level disaster. Both of these mindsets are wrong and will cause you misery. Life is not binary, it's not 0 and 1. No job is just doing all the fun and exciting work, and also no job is just doing only the boring work where you are not really learning anything. All the jobs are more like mediocre Netflix series. Some good episodes, some bad. Find what you enjoy, appreciate those parts, and actively seek better opportunities rather than constantly complaining. 10th, the last one, is not having awkward one-on-ones. Yes, you heard it right. You are doing a mistake if your one-on-ones are not awkward. If your one-on-ones feel pointless or you are confused why they should be awkward, trust me, I was too initially. So you can watch this video here where I talk about why your one-on-ones feel pointless and how to fix them. It will completely change how you approach those meetings. See you in this video. Bye bye.